This research around stress can be a little depressing, a little discouraging. But there's some good news in it as well, and that is that there is a kind of antidote to toxic stress, and that is parents. That when children are able to form a close, attached, nurturing bond with a parent or another caregiver, it acts as a kind of buffer, a kind of protection against even the worst kinds of toxic stress. And one of the ways that we know this is through this study that was done about a dozen years or so ago in Montreal with rats. One of my great fears is that when Ellington grows up and reads this book, he's going to realize that a lot of the time when I was playing with him as a kid, I was thinking about rats. And it's true, and it's all because of this one study done by this neuroscientist at McGill named Michael Meany. So Meany was like a lot of neuroscientists. He had a whole lab full of rats, each living in these plexiglass cages, each cage with one mother rat and a few of her babies, known as pups. And at some point, Meany and his team of researchers noticed that there was this one particular behavior that certain mother rats would do with their pups, and he called it licking and grooming. And licking and grooming is not about making your pups look better. It's about helping them calm down when they get stressed out. And if you're a lab rat pup, the thing that stresses you out more than anything else is graduate students. Once a day or so, these lab assistants would show up and pick you up, weigh you or measure you or inject you with something, and then put you back into your little cage. And so the pups would just be freaked out and trembling and nervous. And some of the mother rats at this moment would do this soothing ritual of licking and grooming, and others would not. And so Meany wanted to find out what the long-term effect of licking and grooming was. And so he devised this experiment. He divided the mother rats up into two categories. The ones who did a whole lot of licking and grooming, he called the high LG mother rats. The ones who didn't do much licking and grooming were the low LG mother rats. Each mother rat raised her pups for the first couple of weeks of life. And then the scientists separated the pups from their mothers. The pups grew to adulthood, which is about 3 months for a rat. And then the scientists gave these new adult rats a whole battery of tests. And the rats who had received a lot of licking and grooming as pups did better on all kinds of tests. They were braver. They were more curious. They did better at mazes. They were healthier. They lived longer. When the scientists looked at their brains, they could see differences in the size and shape of certain parts of their brain, all because of this one small idiosyncratic behavior that certain mother rats did just in the first few weeks of life. So when I read this study, I found myself trying to figure out, what the human equivalent of licking and grooming might be. I want to assure you I did not lick my son at any point. And if you look at photos of him from that first year, you'll know that my wife and I actually didn't groom him much at all either. But I think there is this human equivalent to licking and grooming.